San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie is marking 6 months in office. He ran on a platform of making the city safer and solving the homeless crisis. So how is the city doing?
And as you can see, Mayor Daniel Lurie joining us live in studio to talk about how the term is going so far and all he hopes to accomplish in the remainder of the term. Mayor, good to see you once again.
It's good to see both of you. Thanks for having me.
Of course, we want to start with one of your big campaign promises, and that was in the first 6 months in office to deliver 1,500 new shelter beds. How are we, and are you changing your strategy at trying to tackle homelessness head on?
Yeah, we're going to continue to tackle homelessness head on. We always value progress over politics, and so we are pivoting and we are making sure that we build the right kind of beds. I was just driving here, saw someone struggling with addiction on the street. We can't just stand up a shelter bed for that person. We need to get them real help. The right kind of bed is what we are after. We've stood up 400 beds so far, 1,000 by the end of the year, but we're really convinced that it's got to be the right bed to get the help that people really need.
And what does that right help look like, man?
It depends. It could be at 822 Gary Street, we have this transitional facility where people can come in for 24 hours, get assessed, get the right kind of care, and then passed off to a facility that is appropriate. Right now, to date, most people have been taken to SF General, where they're put on a 5150 hold. Police and law enforcement have to stay with that person. It costs everybody a lot of money, and then people are released right back to the street. In this case, we're getting them the right help right at 822 Gary. So that's an example of the right type of care.
Mayor Lurie, housing continues to be an issue in San Francisco, and Sacramento made major reforms to CEQA, the decades-old environmental law, last week. So do you believe this will lead to more housing being built in San Francisco, and how quickly could we see that?
Well, I think that was a big moment for our state. We have to make it easier to build housing. We just introduced a plan called the Family Zoning Plan. We want to make sure that there is more housing here in San Francisco that is affordable for families. We want parents raising their kids here to really believe that their kid could afford to live in San Francisco down the road. Right now, it's out of reach for far too many people. We have to control our own destiny. One of the reasons we put this family zoning plan in place is so that the state doesn't come in and take it over. CEQA and the changes at Sacramento will help us do just that. I don't think you're going to see immediate impacts like today, but it's going to change the trajectory of housing in San Francisco for sure.
We want to talk about immigration and the immigration raids and crackdowns that have been happening. Obviously, Los Angeles has been kind of ground zero as of recent. Just yesterday, we saw hundreds of National Guard troops there in a park deployed. How is San Francisco potentially preparing for this coming to our city? We know that the Trump administration has been targeting cities, other jurisdictions that have sanctuary city policies like San Francisco.
Well, one thing we're doing is we're fighting this in the courts, and our city attorney, David Chu, is doing an excellent job on that front, making sure that we protect our policies here in San Francisco, which we know make our city safe. It allows people to call local law enforcement without fear of federal immigration issues popping up. So we are going to continue to lean into those policies that keep us safe. In our budget, we put funding that equaled last year's funding for immigrant defense rights. We want to work with the Rapid Response Network so all of our immigrants know that what their rights are. We're going to lean into San Francisco values and protect our immigrant community in every way possible. Everyone listening and watching should know that. Our policies keep San Franciscans safe. The policies and what we're seeing on TV down in LA, those are meant to instill fear in communities, and it doesn't make anybody more safe.
Speaking of safety, you ran on public safety. This week you announced new efforts to increase staffing within the San Francisco Police Department. You laid out a couple of ways you're going to do that. Can you tell us how quickly we'll see the impact of these changes and an increase in the amount of officers we see out on the streets?
Yeah, I was just with the sheriff this morning. More sheriff's deputies hired than any time in the last 10 years in terms of a net increase in sheriffs. We're seeing a surge in applications for our police academy, which is great. The last 3 classes have been full for police recruits. We're still short 500 police officers, and I want more officers out there walking the beat, getting to know community, more community policing. But we are seeing results already. Crime is down 27% in our city. right in Union Square and in the financial district, it's down 45% since we took office. We want to make sure we keep our residents safe, our visitors safe, those coming for conventions safe, and we are executing on that plan. It's going to take us some time, but all trends are heading in the right direction.
Let's talk about visitors. Obviously, you just got through a difficult budget period. San Francisco, like many major cities, are dealing with budget deficits right now. We know tourism is a part of the secret sauce here in San Francisco. It's part of the bread and butter. We need people to love our city, to come visit our city from all over the country and the world. We heard that Fisherman's Wharf wasn't as busy as we expected it to be for the July 4th holiday weekend. What are you doing to bring more folks to the city of San Francisco?
Well, actually, I just met with our airport director, Mike. He's doing a great job. We're almost back to pre-pandemic levels in terms of travelers coming to SFO. Fisherman's Wharf is actually doing quite well. 13.5 million people came through it last year versus 15 million pre-pandemic. So we have a little ways to go. What we have to continue are these good vibes that people are hearing across the country and across the globe, that San Francisco is on the rise with those crime stats down. But we have to get out and tell people how great San Francisco is. People are rooting for us all over the world, and they're starting to see that San Francisco is coming back. We got to continue to invest in our small businesses, and our economic recovery is essential. Our airport just got named one of the great airports in the world, and so I actually just did a visit out there 2 weeks ago. They're doing incredible work. It's our job to do that equal work here at City Hall.
Yeah, it's always great to see all the tourists speaking different languages walking through our streets, so hopefully we get more people to come back to San Francisco. But the city is still recovering from COVID. Can you tell us what specifically is being done to revitalize downtown? There's still a lot of work to do. We know there are monthly events happening, and also what's being done with San Francisco Center.
Well, first, we have 21 entertainment zones across the city. So nightlife is coming back across San Francisco. I mentioned 45% decrease in crime in Union Square. We have a hospitality zone task force to make sure that businesses and visitors are feeling safe. We're winning conventions back left and right. Moscone Center is booked 50% higher this year than last year. Hotel bookings are up 60%. So we're starting to see that. And I'm calling CEOs, I'm calling entrepreneurs, I'm calling retail CEOs and saying, hey, we want you back in San Francisco. How can we win your business back? And I'm telling everybody, we are open for business. If we do our part, clean and safe streets, we let our entrepreneurs, our innovators, our arts and culture, our restaurants are the envy of the world. People are going to want to be back in San Francisco, and we're already seeing that in the numbers.
You're making those phone calls, or your staff?
I'm making those phone calls.
Personal calls?
I call so many people all the time being like, you have to be in San Francisco. I mean, we're the home of the AI revolution that's happening. Cities around the world would die to have the companies that we have here in San Francisco. They would die to have the restaurants and the arts and culture and the museums. We have work to do. I'm clear-eyed about that. We have challenges. We inherited a historic budget deficit, but I'm telling you, the vibes have shifted and San Francisco is on the rise.
Okay, we'll see if those vibes continue to head in the right direction. San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie, we appreciate you stopping by 6 months on the job.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.